Hello guys and welcome back to the letter. Last time we killed Rebecca and then a couple days later I was like, you know what? I reject I reject killing Rebecca. And you're like, Aiden, where's your morals? Didn't you say this was an Iron Man mode? Aren't you grounded on your beliefs? And I'm just like, yeah, but Miss Pink. But yeah, we decided to change it. Again, I'm sure in the true route we'll need to kill people off to get those sweet memory fragments. But for now, I just want to end the game with everyone alive. So, Jesus, look how long. What the? I just noticed how long this is. Are all of them that long? Holy fuck! Yes, they are. I mean, no. Look how long Ashton's is compared to Rebecca's route. Compared to Marianne's route. Oh man. Oh man. Ashton's route is so fucking long. Holy shit. We're in for a ride, huh? But yeah, we're playing Pretty Fly for an Asian guy, Ashton. I like Ashton. He's cool. He's the slightly what's the right word for it? Unusual detective. That's not the word I was thinking of, but it works enough. He's a fun guy, and I'm a fan of detective guys. So yes, Rebecca lived. Saved. And we first off we gotta see his profile, dude. 29 years old. Man looks like he's a teenager. Mainly because of that haircut, which is questionable. What fits with his character? Ashton Ash Frey, December 26th, Capricorn, 29 years old. He's 5'5". How's that on the same size as Rebecca? Marianne's my size, 6 foot. 5'2", man. Smaller than Hana. Detective Inspector, American Japanese. Okay, I didn't know his Asian part, but made sense. Christian, non-practicing, bachelor's degree in forensic science. Likes taiyaki ice cream. Shirley, his red car. Ophelia. Is that another item he owns that he named? I think. I don't know it though. Old timey action movies and thrillers, kart racing, jazz and swing, Sherlock Holmes, and justice. Ah, yes. I too am a justice enjoyer. There's little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. He saw the standard testing system as a chore and considers his popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Edgelord. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend at St. Goretti, and he was no better when he went into university. If anything, his indifferent outlook got worse with his parents' divorce. Divorce gang. Join me and Rena in the club. Unfortunate. He initially took law, but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him. He served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Luxembourg's Criminal Investigation Department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his numerous years in service became quite the learning experience for him. Now, as a detective inspector, he's been assigned to his biggest case yet. Exciting. What day are we at? Do we know? Guess we'll find out. Actually, I mean, we might as well just see what day we're at. Shit. Never mind. It's doomed. Okay. Anyways, let's just get started. Doesn't really matter. Ashton time. Let's see how it goes. I really enjoyed the Rebecca route. New ordering for favorite route so far. It's a hard one. I guess I can't really say Hana's my favorite route anymore. They're all pretty good, honestly. I'll just say I enjoyed all of them. Like, I feel like Isabella's might be the weakest, but it is the intro route, so it made sense, but it's also like I literally done that like a couple months ago, so who knows? Who knows? Anyways, longest intro ever for the letter. Let's actually just start reading. Ashton POV at the Ermagerd Mansion. Parties have never been really my thing. This might be like when Isabella did the tour. Or it's when he's at the actual house party. But his route is so long, you'd think it wouldn't be that. It's way too far in the future. There's always such a hassle and takes so much time off my day. Prior plans and commitments cancelled, all for the sake of playing along with others.
Welcome everyone.
Hello. I hated them even as a child. This is the party though. So, maybe we'll go back in time. Unless it's just like long ass days.
Please make yourselves at home.
But Mom often insisted she'd slit my hair. But Mom often insisted she'd slit my hair back and put me in one of those stuffy dinner jackets. And if there were any children around, urged me to make friends. Never mind how utterly loud or tedious it was all for the sake of keeping up appearances. To some extent, lies have already surrounded me, long before I've chosen what I wanted to do with my life. Luckily, there were easy ways to tune everything out, and much to my mom's frustration, I always managed to sneak my CD player along. I kept to myself and to my music, had my own little world, until I learned to observe. It's a simple matter of awareness, really. And for someone with keen eyes, a skewed necktie or a simple flick of the wrist alone could tell volumes about a person. I still don't like parties, especially ones as big and fancy as the Wright's housewarming. However, when there's an actual reason to go to them, I figure they're not too bad.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Yeah. Besides, like it or not, it's all part of the job. I'm here on a mission. One that has the name Luke Wright plastered all over it. You'd think the man would want to remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across Luxembourg. Granted, most of it have gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any lead or evidence, but that still doesn't make him any less suspect. Yet here he is, throwing a party in his own backyard. Although, having observed the man this past year, I'm not even shocked. He craves it. The damn spotlight. Constantly yearns for attention like a neglected puppy. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why he is nowhere to be found in his own party. But that's not the problem here. What pisses me off is how far his reach extends, how close he's creeped into the lives of the people I care about. Again, like the stubborn itch you couldn't be rid of. I also guess like if we're this far ahead, which we might step back, we might not, Ashton really hasn't seen any creepy Kyoto appearances. Oh, I forgot to mention since our intro is so freaking long. With the memory fragment we saw, which I guess is cheating since we're not going for that true route, it kind of like paints the picture like really well. I think we got like one of the last memory fragments, so yeah, if you missed it, it was a picture of the two Ermagerd people, I forgot their names, and the slave. And I'm guessing after freeing the slave fell in love with the guy that looked like Luke, and then the girl wasn't too happy, so she killed them both, maybe? And that's why she's cursing them. Mainly because, again, the letter's probably fate, so I don't know if she's actually asking for help. Maybe she just, like, because Luke looks like freaking the man she loved. Maybe she's just, like, hard simping for him. And just killing people around him. That would be hilarious. I don't know, though. That's just an idea. Anyways, continuing. First, Professor Clark. Then there's Isabella. I also spotted Z-Man here a while ago, and now Now there's also Rebecca. Apparently.
Ashton?
Becca, what are you doing here?
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
That explains things and makes this difficult all the same. As if getting a contact among the staff to sneak a name into the guest list isn't hard enough. The guy almost ditched me last night and might have placed another setback on my investigation if it wasn't for my generous tip. Then here comes Rebecca, another person to mind.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
She knows him well. We just had that inner monologue about hating parties.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
A necessary lie. I can't bring my own friends into this any further than what they've found themselves in. I'm actually pretty interested in seeing Ashton's inner thoughts, because there's a lot of scenes where people are like, oh, it looks like Ashton's gears are grinding in his head. Might be interesting to see what those gears are actually producing. Because if Luke writes so much as harms a hair on either Zach or Rebecca's heads, there will be hell to pay. Dude, Luke's chilling. Hey, Rebecca and Luke are now BFFs, best friends forever. BFF. Easy. Worrying about Isabella's brief dealings with him is stressing in itself already. I doubt he'll attempt anything in front of other people, though. It would tarnish his glorious reputation, and he values appearances more than anything. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it, more than, in fact, and on the off chance that he does something. What do you think he's gonna do to Rebecca, bro? They're chilling. Or Zachary. I mean, he kind of doesn't like Zachary, but just for different reasons. I wouldn't be responsible for my actions.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Oh, well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can...
Ooh, blushing. For Zach and Rebecca's sakes, however, I really hope this will simply be another housewarming. Even though something tells me it's anything but. Call it a detective's intuition or whatever. I mean, it's true, but it's not Lute's fault. Well, it is Lute's fault, maybe. But he's not the agitator. Also, Marianne gets trapped in an underground dungeon, but I'm sure that's not your intuitions detecting that. When Luke writes involved, nothing good has ever come out of it. I can't let my guard down here. Even so more when a familiar car slows to a stop and out comes...
Chief?
Dude, what's this guy's name? We haven't... Lee? His name's Lee? Right? My presence here might be odd at best, but I have an excuse. One that this man handed to me himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery for the newly promoted detective inspector. I mean, he doesn't know that Lee's been friends with the Wrights for a while. It's kind of sus, to be honest. Can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I? Although to see him here chatting it up with Luxembourg's rich and famous isn't such a big surprise in itself, no disrespect meant, but the guy is obviously a social climber. I like the hustle. What is surprising is the fact that he seems all too eager to mingle with a person of interest's wife. Yeah, he was a little weird with Hannah, wasn't he? Just what the hell is he doing here?
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca. I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
What the shit is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this.
Well, he's good at multitasking, bro. I mean, Rebecca kind of knew he was ignoring her, but he's not even thinking about the conversation at all.
Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
Hey, be careful! About what exactly?
I don't want to draw attention to myself either, at least not until he's giving me the proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
I like his voice though. I mean, his wife's the one who spoils the party. It's pretty crazy.
Husband still missing, I see.
This guy gives creepy vibes though. Bro, what if he's the murderer? Trying to blame it on Luke.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
Cause she's pregnant, I get it. For now, the best I can do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with Chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca, or forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. But there's his motive that Rebecca is wondering about. It's a pretty good motive, to be honest, so. Kinda guessed it, though. Wandering is out of the question as well, when there are guards in civies stationed here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but I'd rather not right now, when I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about. It'd be best to try and do so once there's a crowd of people. And if their interior designers' drunken claims are to be believed.
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
What is he doing? Hana just claimed he was just there to make a dramatic entrance, which I actually think it might just be, and just because of the way he does it.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
It'll all come down to how well I'll play my cards tonight. With a good hand, this party is going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke right, or something to prove my suspicions wrong. Maybe find out what kind of game my boss is also playing. I've had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down by how much of a bumbling fool the man appears. It doesn't really feel like he can be like a criminal or, I mean, I don't know. Just the way, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it, but you kind of can't. I don't know how to explain it. Guess we'll have to see in his POV. But one does not simply deal with the rights and get invited to a party they host without wanting anything from either of the two. Or it's the other way around. So with the last wary glance at the two, I head into the ballroom. I just hope this will not complicate things further. Shit. Always love this track. By the time the party is in full swing, night has fallen, yet there still isn't a loot right in sight. The man can be quite ostentatious, but this, frankly, I'm impressed. Food tat, AIDS, I don't know what that's, what is that, dude? It looks like potato, maybe? What is that? It looks like a dessert, but with this shit on it, I think it's like, probably not. And some wine. Who knows? I don't even know how many hors d'oeuvres I've already stuffed my face with. Probably thought I wouldn't pronounce that right, knowing my track record. Don't talk to me about hors d'oeuvres ever again. One too many, probably. The servers are already giving me a stinky eye every time I saunter over the buffet table. Hey, free food? Gotta stuff your face a bit. Blame your employer, not me. He's the one who has the guts to show up late. Besides, most of the guests' idle talk is concentrated in this area. Despite standing under the same roof with the very people they're whispering about, some just couldn't resist. I might as well keep an ear out for any useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem?
You sound so pompous.
Tech problem.
And then this guy sounds demonic.
It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the Blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
Sounds like a nervous wreck.
He might have already.
If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything, that or someone has been pulling the strings. What? Okay. I didn't really get that. The doing some lingo, huh? I wouldn't be shocked. This case would not have gone this long if Stumbay didn't have a meal of some kind in the force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out.
Oh my god. So many different voices.
I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened.
Luke? No? Who?
Glad I did not have to deal with that.
Because Evans is Hannah's company. Or Hannah's family's company.
But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
So many different, like, distinct accents, huh? That's so French. This kind of Netherlands, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce stuff, has always been an advantage, but sometimes I wish I could be smashed drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you get to hear the most unsavory things. Who cheated on who this week, one person's motive for bashing someone's skull against the wall, or a father's excuse for burning his own daughter alive, that sort of stuff. On the regular, huh? After a few years, it gets tiring, you get desensitized to it. But humans could also be downright awful. Sometimes there simply isn't enough brain bleach in this world. That's something. It's a way to put alcohol, huh? Brain bleach. It's actually a good one. Sadly, this wine is a no-go tonight, and mostly for show. I'm up for another drive later, for one, and I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. And something always comes up in assignments like this. A detective inspector dying of cardiac arrest, for example. Because I can feel the moment my heart grinds to a halt the second I shift my eyes to a corner of the ballroom with Rebecca and Hannah.
Hannah Wright.
They're chilling. Some will say I'm acting a touch bit paranoid, and maybe I am. This is a party and she's the hostess. It goes to say she'd take time to mingle with her guests. But Hannah Wright, nee Evans, isn't without her fair share of accolades. At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record needed to manage a company. Or effectively hide whatever irregularity there might be. I mean, she's innocent. We've been in her POV. I think. I mean, maybe she did it and just never came up, but I'm pretty sure. It's the freaking butler, dude. Johannes. I don't know. I'm just throwing jokes. It's a joke. Unless I'm right, then I take back the joke when it comes out. She's clean as far as my agents and I have found, but it doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up to. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial yet, but it's enough to nurture suspicion. This may be a bit of an overreach, but no one lasts long in my line of work by being careless.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to be worried about then. She's probably even more careful with appearances than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focused on her. Yet even knowing that, the anxiety has been here since the party started. I brushed it off earlier. Who wouldn't feel edgy, right? I've gone undercover in a party hosted by the very person I'm investigating. That in itself is risky and has plenty of room for error. Usually though, the tension passes around the first half hour or so. I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spent here, it only grows heavier and seems to overwhelm. Excuse me. An odd feeling that someone is watching me instead. Oh, that's Chayoko. It has been like this since last week, but I should already be used to this. People would be looking at me, no matter how small or big of a blip I am on their radar. Chayoko, she's whispering shit. Man, so he really hasn't noticed her, huh? Maybe it's just too, like, not on the same frequency, you know? You know what they say, you need to be on the same frequency for ghosts. He's like polar opposite. He's on the AM while she's on the FM, you know? That's what they do in these things. But when the feeling of eyes burning into my back lingers longer than necessary, I've been looking around every now and then to catch the culprit. No luck. And despite my efforts to push the sensation as far down as I could, tiny pinpricks continue to sting the back of my head, and the ghost of a cold touch creeps up my limbs. Until my gaze switches back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. Oop. She sees Tayoko. We saw this before, I think. Jesus, look at that. So cursed. She stands there, a dark-haired and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. Even so, no one seems to notice, besides Hana. Although she's looking away from me, her mere existence here disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision binds where I stand, stood still, and gape at her, like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. I feel trapped in her presence until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath. At least she's not on you, Ashton. I'm sure her main target is Hana, though she kills Rebecca, which is weird. Just because maybe she's friendly with Hana more than everyone else. Though she tries to kill Isabella, so maybe it's like not that. Before I can figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues as if nothing's amiss. I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would not have been allowed in a fancy thing like this. What has security been doing? Are they really that incompetent for someone so distinct to easily get in without notice? There should have been an outcry by now, particularly from the host. She's been standing almost an arm's length away from the woman, and yet she simply continues to talk with Rebecca.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Is there something in the food then? That I'm starting to see things? It couldn't have been the wine, though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stepped off my car. The hors d'oeuvres? But why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy, but I couldn't see why he'd ever think it'd be a good idea to lace the food he's serving his party with someone like Chief Lee on his guest list. To boot. He has been linked to narcotics trade. Yup. However, that kind of tactic is below him. That much I could tell. Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt. So...
What the fuck was that?
It's a great reaction to Tayoko. I'm sure we'll see more of her. Though again, maybe Tayoko's just chilling on Ashton. Maybe Ashton hasn't seen her because she doesn't care about him. But there's no time to look deeper into this even if I want to. Now when a telling silence comes upon the room and draws everybody's attention to the main doors of the ballroom.
About damn time.
To my boy.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party. I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
It's so cheesy, man. Freaking scumbag on his name, huh? I've been tailing this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark, yet pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it. While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, he's shown to be a really rotten guy. At least that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. I've lost track how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could be pinned with. I mean, I can believe that. I don't think he's like some criminal mastermind, but he is. He is a little out there with infidelity. Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols. My case first and foremost. My opinion of the man shouldn't get ahead of my purpose here. If I want to put him in his place, it should be in a court with all the proper charges filed against him. And I'll only be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness.
Jesus.
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
Suppressing my annoyance, I prepare to step away from the crowd. Amidst the cheers and claps, now is as good as any time to move. Try to find that something the McCullough woman talked about. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. A faint smile is plastered on my face while I pretend to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him, all while slowly inching out of the ballroom. Unfortunately, before I could get any further,
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
again, third time's the charm, huh? Jesus.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Rich people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or they create an even greater problem out of it, and it just blows up in everybody's faces one way or the other, or another. Fun!
No! Shut it, you monster! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking
Crazy
to the
woman.
scumbag over here!
Oh, does he not know that's the chief's wife?
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds in, and this is already proving itself to be a bit public spectacle. Why spend money on a television to buy daytime soap operas? You could just go to one of these parties and see the action unfold in real life. You get free food too. Really, if I were an actual guest, I just take this as some sordid form of amusement.
Watch your tongue. You're on thin ice, Rochelle.
Threatening Luke.
Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
True, get out of here. But I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him even through this whole story tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Interesting, isn't it though? That's the chief inspector's wife. Yes, it's very weird. Looks like when chief inspector was kind of hitting on Hana. I don't even know if that's a thing, but it kind of feels like a thing. The wife was getting it on with Luke. What a situation. Already? Saturday? Jesus. We're zooming. Okay, so that was the party, which was the 28th, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Guess we'll just go forward. I mean, we never got to Halloween. So, I'm sure that'll be a good day for them on the spookiest day of the year. Nothing bad can happen on Halloween. The morning after starts off quiet. So he didn't get anything from the party, I guess. Even the whole of Solemnwell residence seems unusually still. The open hallway when I step out is devoid of tenants, no sounds coming from the other units either. It's almost as if something's brewing on the horizon. A peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood, though. I can't even remember the last time I slept without anything urgent interrupting. That's right, he's sleeping at Rebecca's house on the couch. I remember now. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket waking me up, I'd sleep in. Hey, you're lucky you picked up the phone. If it was another universe, that'd be Rebecca about to die. The raining has stopped before I could move somewhere private, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Pity, I could use a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another hastily spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Unlike Zach and Isabella, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca is rather quick on the trigger. It will have to be set aside for later, though. Oh. Oh no. There it goes. Dude, it's been so long since we heard this ringtone, man. You only heard it once at the very beginning. It's so cringe, dude. One more time after this. Hear the full lyrics. From the Lutz City. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. The chief's name stares back at me almost as if it's mocking me. Sad. It would have been quite nice to chill just after last night, or maybe half listen to the news. Sure, it's the same thing we've been hearing lately. It's so hard to read with this fucking ringtone, huh? Still be standing outside in the chilly Luxembourg morning on the phone with my boss. Sigh and I answer it, if only to get this over with. Hello. Now that's the tone I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this would already gives me a headache. Immediately I reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose to stave it off.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you too.
He's probably telling me to raid on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my taste. It seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although I would have followed up on it if it were somebody else's wife. But figuring it's the chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean if the missus is related to right shady dealings. That's why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigating cheating husbands and wives, when it's probably just that. Chief appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them had said the same things numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. A phone call is the last thing I want to happen. When there are other things I need to focus on at the time. You don't want that freaking ringtone going off in the party. Let me tell you that. Get weird glances. Besides, we have radios and work-issued phones. Why isn't he using those channels if this is urgent?
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Ignored.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just
Tell my wife. No.
look, pray.
Oh,
Take this personally, alright?
is he gonna kick him off the case?
You're off the Luxborn firm case.
Nice. I wonder if he noticed him at the party. I don't know though. I mean, it's not nice. I don't know why I said nice. Kind of funny though. Well, I did not expect to hear that either. This must be some kind of cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Nah, bro, you're trimmed. You're trimmed. Out of his bad mood or severe hangover, maybe? Everyone knows that when given the chance, he exercises no control with his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trashed an hour in at the party. He likely drank more after they threw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the times. This is heavy cope. Sorry, bro, you're trimmed. But when he doesn't follow it up, if I sound a tiny bit frustrated speaking to my own superior, I'm not the one to blame.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief?
Yeah, a little frustrated.
Is this one of your practical jokes again? The Temps won't say anything about it, but
It's not that. They're orders. From the higher-ups.
Oh. The higher-ups. Yes, my favorite word. Higher up than the chief, huh? Some big boys. Since when did the higher-ups even ever care about the criminal investigation department did? What the criminal investigation department did? As far as I could tell, they don't give a hoot if CID is filled with cold cases as long as we keep the spending low. When I need to go view those old case files, though, they're locked away in the archives. You're gonna have to check up with the higher-ups. I need access to these reports, see if the higher-ups would allow it. Every step, every move in this case, there isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not the chief or it's the commissioner, or so they always tell me. It makes one wonder why they even bothered assigning it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it has taken so long for a hint of progress to show.
You can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Need some compensation, at least. No, I'm joking.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but
3 years, Chief. 3 years.
It's a long time to be on a case. I mean, I totally, as much as I'm memeing right now, you totally understand Ashton's side of this, right? Imagine spending 3 years on something. To be fair, Ashton hasn't actually gotten a lot of evidence. Apparently he has a little bit, but nothing to actually charge him with. So it also kind of makes sense cutting him off since he hasn't made enough progress. But rough. 3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings within Luxembourg's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. 3 years, and I was the only one who made it this far, being much progress that the officers with more experience weren't able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year, and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Okay, so maybe I was underplaying Ashton's achievements in this case, because seems like he's done pretty good. Of course I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir.
Ooh.
I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey. But the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress.
Dun dun dun.
Still too slow by their standards.
Guess I was kind of right. I mean, unless Luke's just buying them off. Could be.
Too slow?
Oh, look at that angry Ashton face. Rare. New face.
Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
Good self-censor. Respectable.
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
But he's done better.
Someone who has more experience?
They meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Bro, he's 29. It's pretty... I mean, I guess that is young. But it's like, kind of not.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training.
True.
I'm as qualified as they are.
Futile, I know it is. He's just venting. They never say it within my earshot, but from every minute I stepped into their precinct, the lot of them had underestimated me, from their stares alone to the assignments I get. To them, I'm still just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pull that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out of the window. No matter how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I've put in every investigation they've thrown my way.
We're all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough.
Maybe stop calling him kid then.
However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? That reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of it.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final.
His hands are tied.
I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Afraid it's too late, boy. I've already
Oh,
informed the
man.
officers.
Unlucky.
You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Help just keep out
Damn, dude. I mean, free weekend, kind of blessed, but
Seriously, Chief, is this about last
is it
night?
worth 3 years? Oh, don't. I don't know. Does the chief know you were at the party?
If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for.
You were at the party.
God damn it, Ashton. It makes me pause. His very tone, the sudden careful note in his voice. Slowly a frown forms in my face, my eyebrows knitting together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hana right last night. I think he's just horny. I don't think he's actually a bad guy, he's just horny. It happens. It is Hana, though it's weird. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite, even if his presence was questionable. There's something wrong, and I've unintentionally walked into it. All I have is a sneaking suspicion, but when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together. Why the hell have I been taken off this case might be for the same reason why he was there in the first place. That's a good observation, though. It can't be Luke or Hana. I don't think they're pulling the strings. I mean, maybe it's Luke, but I mean, the only other sprited character is freaking Johannes. What if Johannes is just using the right name and is a freaking criminal mastermind? That'd be a great meme. Fuck!
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there?
Ooh, turning the tables. Will he go into it though?
I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was.
He coughs and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses, lies. I don't want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined the LPD, even with his bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. He's obviously competent enough to get the job done. He wouldn't be Chief Inspector of Luxembourg Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in service without some track record backing him. Unless that too is a fluke, and what's backing him is not something, but someone? Johannes? Oh, shit. Fucking hell. Fucking shit.
Chief Harvey, about last night with the.
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath we've taken upon being sworn into service if I can, but at this point it seems too late to remind him of that. He's probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. I mean, we're making a lot of assumptions. I mean, it could be that, but like, I don't think it's necessarily yet. Damn it. I've suspected the upper brass of this, even the lower ranked subordinates in the force, but from my own boss? Shit, no wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have been set up to fail long before the fucking case had been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hana Wright, you were.
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table. Understood?
This isn't.
Frey, am I understood?
He's not playing the game. Can't turn the tables if he won't play the game. Smart on his part if he is hiding shit. What else can I do other than smile and nod? With my own superior expecting an answer, using that tone, brushing off questions as easy as discarding a dead body.
Yes. Yes, sir.
He cuts the line as soon as the words are out. Damn, bro. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. Pretty nice developments. Get a little look into Ashton's mind, and the chief might be sus. Who knows? It could be a red herring. To me, it kind of smells like a red herring for some reason, but my sense of smell for stuff like this doesn't have the best track record, to be honest. So, whatever. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Next time, Now that Ashton's off the case, we'll see if he can salvage it somehow. I mean, we know he eventually starts investigating the Kyoko stuff with the Dane, but we'll have to see. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and see you guys next time. Bye for now.